Alright, team, happy Friday and welcome to Fresh Fitness Friday's cardio and strength conditioning component this week. So we're gonna start off with our 30, 40, 60 for 6 rounds as part of our nice, easy, quote unquote, warm up, joint mobility, movement patterning, that kind of stuff. And then we'll take a couple of minutes to do some actually specific joint mobility part of it, and then we're gonna go into a chipper workout for 14 minutes. All right, so we'll talk about that as we're taking a rest in between. So for the first part, for the warm-up, we're gonna do 30 seconds of high knees, we're gonna do 30 seconds skaters, and then we're gonna do, 40 seconds of skaters, and then 60 seconds of push-up. On the next round, it's gonna be toe taps, shuffles, and then up, down. On the third round, it's gonna be butt kicks, pop squats, and then we'll do a little bit of skipping, and we'll go through that twice. So there's 2 sets of 3 for a total of 6 rounds. Alrighty, so if we're ready, we're gonna start in about 5 seconds with your high knees first, skaters, and then push-ups. Ready? In 3, 2, 1, and let's go. So starting with your high knees. Good, I'm gonna set up my timer so I can see it without having to run over it. There you go. 20 seconds to go into the high knees. Stay nice and tall, core is tight. Driving that arms if you need to, or setting that arm up for you to reach up to, alrighty? Good, we have 5 seconds to go, and then we're gonna go into our skaters. 3, 2, 1, skater it out. So either stepping and touch, right? Or hopping and step, or you're gonna go full on land, stick, and change directions, okay? So this is for 40 seconds. Make sure we're loading the hip. I notice some people always tell me sometimes they do feel it, start to feel in the low back, and that's when we start to round off or excessively arch the back. So make sure that we're keeping our posture. We're loading the hips. In 3, 2, 1, we're going into our push-ups. So hands, mid-palm, mid-chest, breathing in, big breath out. And again, we don't need to see 20 reps of them. We want to see good reps. So either from a tall plank position, breathing in, big breath out, or from the knee. But everything moves as one. Chest and thighs touches the floor or gets to the floor and comes off the floor at the same time. Mid-palm, mid-chest, shoulder right down. Alrighty, you have about 12 seconds for that push-up. So let's get cracking. Welcome, Pam. Catch up where you are. No rush. 3, 2, 1. We're back up into our 30 seconds for toe taps. Okay, big toe taps. So I'm using my mat, staying nice and tall. I'm doing a little bit of rotation with my upper body by driving with my arms. 10 seconds to go. And then we're gonna go into our lateral shuffles next, okay? 3, 2, and shuffle it out. Touching across, touching across. So same idea when we're doing our skaters. We wanna be loading that hip. I don't wanna be rounded because you will feel that at the low back, or if there's an excessive curvature and I'm standing up tall and driving my knee forward. Alrighty, shuffle. Get as long as we can on the opposite leg so we get a nice adductor stretch. 3, 2, and 1. And we're gonna go into our up down. So hands flat on the floor. We can step back, tall plank, step forward, standing up. Or we can jump back, step forward, stepping up. Or we can step back, jump forward, standing up, or doing the full Jump in, jump out, standing up tall. Pause at the top so we get a nice, easy recovery, a little bit of a recovery. And again, I don't want to see 30 reps of them. I want good, clean reps where the hip is being loaded. We're in that nice tall plank position. Feet flat on the floor when I jump in, and standing straight by driving my feet to the floor. 8 seconds to go. Breathing right through. This is our second round. Third round coming up. We're gonna go into your butt kicks in 3, 2, 1. Butt kicks for 30 seconds here. Again, standing nice and tall. I'm pulling my knees up along with my feet, and I'm getting that hamstring woken up, getting my ankles, my toes to point up to the ceiling if I can, right? There we go. Stay nice and tall. In 3, 2, 1, we're going into our pop squat. So pop, touch, in, out. In, out. If not, feet together, feet out, touch. Feet together, feet out, touch. Okay, so it's gonna be in, out, touch. From the side, it's gonna look like out, touch, in, out, tall. And you can switch hands in 3, 2, and 1. We're gonna get into a little bit of skipping. So if you have a skipping rope, awesome. Oops. If not, let us get the motion of it. Sorry, I should have gotten my skipping rope. Ready? Let's go for it. Skip away, people. Here we go. A minute of skipping. Just smacked myself on the arm. That's okay, but stay tall, core active, okay? If you don't have a skipping rope, get the arms to go around as well. Okay, so fast turn on the wrist, toes, soft landing, and easy peasy jump up. You don't have to jump very high, okay? Good, 3, 2, 1, and we're back on our high knees for 30 seconds. So one more round of the whole thing, right? 30 seconds of high knees. You got this. Let's get going. So again, we don't have to have the jump. I see some of you doing this, and that's totally fine. Just make sure we're not getting into here. Okay, so there's no crunching. We want to stay nice and tall. We're bringing that knee up and switching it up in 3, 2, 1. We're back into our skater. So step, touch, hop, touch, or full skate land, change direction. Okay, take your pick. Breathing right through it. This is for 40 seconds. Now you don't have to jump very far. You want to land it where you can manage it and load the glutes. 3, 2, 1, and we're back into our push-ups. Here we go. I'm going to do it from an angle. Here, chin tuck, active on the floor, breathing in, big breath out. Smooth and control. Again, I don't want to see 20 of them if we're starting to get into that snake movement, okay? Or that S. We want to make sure we stay in a nice plank position, chest and the thighs, touch the floor at the same time. At the bottom position, mid-palm, mid-chest, head nice and tall, chin tucked in. Try not to let that head drop, okay? So we don't want the head dropping before anything else. So keep it tucked in, breathing in. Everything moves as one in 3, 2, 1, and we're on our toe taps. Come on up, 30 seconds of toe taps. This is the second round from last cycle. We have one more cycle after this one. So 40 seconds on the toe taps. Oh, sorry, 30 seconds. Good, 10 seconds to go. Nice and tall. You can go faster if you want. 3, 2, 1. Shuffle it out. Breathing right through it. Nice. Again, I want to try and load and extend that other leg so I get a nice stretch on my adductors. Breathing right through it. Keeping nice and tall. Shoulders up higher than the hips. My head in line. I don't want it dropping, okay? 3, 2, 1. We're going into your up downs again. Here we go. Hands on the floor. Jumping back in, standing up. Breathing right through it. You can also step forward and you can also step back, but make sure we're at that nice tall plank position. Feet flat, drive out, okay? So we started with a nice cardio conditioning. 30 more seconds to go here, okay, of 30, 40, and 60. 6 rounds. We have one more round after this. So pace yourself out. It's just to get the heart rate up, get the movement patterns in. We don't want to go super fast. We want to make sure the movement patterns are on point still. We only go fast if we can maintain position. 5 seconds to go. 3, 2, all right, last round. We're going into our butt kicks for the last 30, 40 second round, okay? Nice and tall. So again, you can go steady, you can go side to side, you can go fast, or you can go fast side to side. Your call. Make sure the knee, ankle, and hip alignment is the same whether you're out here or you're in here. We don't want to be collapsing on that knee, okay? So I don't want to be doing this, okay? Good. 3, 2, 1. We're into our pop squats. So it's feet together, jump out, touch the floor. Feet together, jump out, touch the floor. Breathing in, big breath out. Okay, so I'm sinking into my hips, keeping my chest up, tall posture, mid-foot weight. Switching legs each time, rotating to reach the floor in 3, 2, and 1. Last one on your skipping rope. Here we go. A minute of skipping, and let's do this. So again, we don't want to go too fast. Whoa. You can do both feet. You can do alternating, right? Some people, right? Or you can do single leg. You do all the fancy stuff that you do. I think my skipping rope's a little long for me. I keep tripping over it. But we have 20 seconds to go. Keeping my elbow close to the body, my neck relaxed, my core active. Flicking at my wrist. Good, 5 more seconds. 3, 2, and we'll take a full minute break. Great job, guys. Woo! Grab some water. A little bit of a disaster here with my box swelling. That was fun. All right, we're gonna grab a little bit of water. We're gonna walk it off for a minute. We're gonna do some mobility. It's gonna be about a 6 minute mobility. Just getting the joint prepped, getting the heart rate back down. And then we're gonna go into our workout of the day, which is gonna be a chipper. So it's gonna be a 50, 40, 30, 20, 10 chipper. That means you have to finish all 50 before you can do 40, before you can do 30. So take the breaks in between as you need. It's a 14-minute time cap on the workout itself. Alrighty, couple more seconds here. Woohoo! Catch your breath, great work. Set the timer on. And breathing right through it. Where is it? Good. Good. All right, so let's get you on your mat. We're gonna do some up, down dog spiders with the reach, okay? Good. I've set my timer up. It's on the go. Starting from the bottom of your mat, let's get into your up, down dog. You can walk that dog if you want. We're gonna go spider it out and reach. That hip is a little tight on me. I'm gonna walk up to where my hand stays flat, get a nice stretch on my hamstring, walk back out into a tall plank, into my upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Awesome. Tall plank again, into my spider. I'm gonna spend a couple of breaths on that side. Good, and then I'm gonna walk back nice and easy where my hand stays flat. Get my knee as straight as I can get it without locking it out. So for those that are really hypermobile in that position, be very aware of that we don't lock out that knee. Breathing right through. Let's finish off one more round, guys, and then we're gonna move on. Nice. Once you get back into your walking, I want you to roll that spine up, nice and easy. Perfect. We'll give everybody a little bit more time to finish it. Right through, perfect. Good, and so now we're gonna go into your 90-90 shin box, okay? So from here, we're gonna roll over to the other side, back into the middle, okay? Really watch that you're not moving forward. This is where you reset it, so you stay on your mat, okay? Good. Breathing right through, and then we're gonna come in and do a nice reach, and then switch up again, and do a nice reach. Back in, couple more times on each side, and then we're gonna move on. Perfect. Nice. And then let's get you into our all fours, and we're gonna go into our cat-cow. Driving up, back down, breathing right through, active on the floor. Round up each segment of the spine to go up to the ceiling. And then big breath out, let the chest fall, head goes up. Breathe. Let's go 2 more times here. Nice, while I fix my hair. Good. So 2 more times here. And then we're gonna thread the needle. Right hand under the left, reaching up. And then thread the needle, left hand under the right, reaching up. Let's go for 3 more on each side. Here's 3. Good. 2 more. So at this point, heart rate should be back down now to normal. Not cool down, but about a 5, right? Where it's manageable, so we can go into the 14-minute workout on the next round. Perfect. So let's finish right off. You're gonna need your 2 dumbbells or your backpack, ideally your dumbbells. If not, we'll do shoulder taps instead of the renegade row for you guys, okay? So 14-minute work today. It's gonna be a chipper. So 50 walking lunges, that means 25 on each leg. You can have it loaded or unloaded, your call. Next one is gonna be 40 deadlifts, 30 ground to overhead, 20 alternating renegade row, and then we're gonna finish with 10 full-on burpees. All right, so we have 14 minutes to complete all 5 movements, starting from the highest. It's going to be up to you if you want to go heavy load or alrighty. So I'm going to set my new timer in. It's going to be for 14 minutes. Sorry. I'm going to set it at 14 minutes. Ready. In 3. So walking lunges first, right? So walking forward, feet together. Okay, and then you can turn around and do the same. Next one. And I'm going to go in for 40 of these. Okay? Perfect. Next one is going to be your ground to overhead. So ground, up overhead for 30. And then we do a renegade row or a lateral drags. So if you have your backpack, it's going to be 20 per side. Okay? Total of 40. So it's 20 on each arm. And then we will finish with your full-on burpees for only 10. Alrighty? We're gonna start it. If you've already started, good for you. 3, 2, 1. Timer is going. Let's do it. So, walking lunges. If you have your dumbbells, which I do, give you a little bit more load. Forward, feet together. Total of 25 per leg or 50 total. Good. So keep the load for as long as you can. But if you wish, because it is a Friday and we want you to be able to walk on the weekend, go without load. Full range of motion if we can. Okay. Where I'm loading my front leg, shoulder over that leg. That leg is going to push the floor away from you. The back leg gives you that supporting drive to drive you forward. So this forwards you out, the front leg pushes you up, back leg pushes you forward. Okay? If the front walking lunges is giving you a little bit of a trouble, go into your reverse lunge. That's fine as well. Okay? It gives you a little bit more control on that knee driving forward. So instead of driving that knee forward on the step, right? That's what people usually do. Make sure that it stays in line with the ankle. Alrighty, so 50 total lunges, right? On the reverse lunge, that knee stays stable. Same idea, front leg pushes down and pushes you up. Back leg pushes you forward. Get the hips back up in the forward motion. So you can do either one of those. Once you do your 50 lunges, you're into your deadlifts for 40. So both dumbbells, coming down, back up. 40 of these. Okay, you can use your backpack or you can use your dumbbell. But the goal is to keep that chest up. I don't want us rounding over. Keep it nice and tall, pushing the floor away as you come up. Okay, so the motion is coming from the hip. We're doing 40 deadlifts. Nice and tall. So I don't want us leaning back. Okay, come down and then standing nice and tall. Shoulder, hips, knees, and ankle all in alignment. Same with the head. I don't want that head here. Okay, there. Keep your back neutral, chest up, tall posture. Here, perfect. So 50 walking lunges, 40 deadlifts, 30 ground to overhead, 20 lateral drags or renegade row per arm, and then we finish with 10 burpees in that 14-minute time cap. Ideally, we will get there. It looks like we are. Everybody's doing so great. Perfect. All right. So some of you are already on your ground to overhead. Some are finishing up your deadlifts. Great work, guys. Don't let everybody else's progress drive yours, okay? Listen to your body, meet with your body where it's at. Push a little bit more in good form. So for the ground to overhead, in between the feet, I drive up. And again, I want to stay tall. I don't have to look and see where that weight is going. I already know where it's going. I'm loading my hip. If that depth is not workable, go up to here. But make sure that that core is nice and tight. If 2 dumbbells too heavy, drop one, right? If it's making your low back work harder than it has to, switch it up to 1. Or switch it up to alternating. There's always a way to modify it so you meet your body where it's at, and we mitigate any injuries in the future, right? Any overuse of the wrong musculature. 30 ground to overhead. You can go alternating, you can go both. You can use the backpack wherever you're at, whatever you have, let's make use of that. After that, we're gonna go into our renegade row. So renegade row, dumbbells go in the middle. You go into a nice fall plank, pulling in for a total of 20 per side. If you don't have 2 dumbbells and you only have a backpack, do your lateral drags. Again, 20 pulls each side. Stay nice and tall. If from the knees not gonna work, drop down to the, from the toes, I mean, go down to your knee. And it's also doable on the renegade row. Shoulders away from ears. Elbow right by the ribs. Okay, so we're driving the hand towards the chest again, mid-palm, mid-chest. So it's the opposite movement of the push-up. Now we're doing a pull. So we're gonna go 20 per side, okay? Total of 40. Nice. Keep going at it, guys. Okay, stay nice and solid on your plank. Stay nice and tall. Shoulders away from ears. I don't want us going into here, okay? So we don't want that shoulder coming through the ears. Catch your breath if we need to. You got this. We have about 6 minutes to go. Nice. Once you're done your 20 renegade row per arm, you're on your burpees for 10. Chest to ground every time. Okay, so once you're done your renegade row, we're on the burpees. Good. And since there's still time, after, I want you to go back up the chipper, right? And see if we can get us back up to the 50 walking lunges. So now it's 10 burpees, 20 renegade rows again, 30 ground to overhead, 40 deadlifts, and 50 walking lunges in that order. So if you've gone body weight, you should be able to get back up in no problem, with no problem. If you've gone heavier, then it might take you the full 14 minutes to finish the whole round. Alrighty? But come down on the ladder and then go back up. So 50 walking lunges, 40 deadlifts, 30 ground to overheads, and then 20 alternating 20 alternating renegade row or lateral drag pulls per arm. So 20 per arm and then 10 burpees. And if you still got time, you go back up that ladder by doing 20 more alternating renegade rows or drags, lateral drags, back into your 30 ground to overhead, into your 40 deadlifts, and then finishing off with your 50 walking lunges. If you're a rock star, you're gonna try and do both ways and see how long the whole series takes you, by all means. But only if you can maintain everything in good form. All right, for those that are finished their burpees, you're back into your renegade rows. All righty? So we're only doing the burpees once, because I'm nice that way. There's no need to drive the heart rate anymore. We have about 5.5 minutes to go. And then into your renegade row again. And then we go into our ground to overhead. Breathe in, big breath out. Breathe in, out. Good. So after your ground to overhead, back into your deadlifts. So I'm just demoing each one so you can see what the movement standards look like again. Okay? So from the side. So the numbers haven't changed. From 10 burpees, 20 renegade row, 30 ground to overhead, 40 deadlifts, 50 walking lunges, and then we're gonna call it a day. But right now, we have 4 more minutes, and I'm gonna demo the walking lunges again with the load. So I always bring my weight onto that front leg because I want my front leg to be the one doing the work. Breathing in, big breath out, mid-foot weight on that front leg, stepping back up. Keeping my chest nice and tall. I don't let my shoulder collapse. Okay? Stay tall, stepping up. Breathing in, big breath out. Breathing in, stand nice and tall. And use up the space that you have, if you have it. Alrighty? So, we have about 3 minutes to go. A 14-minute shipper, and everybody seems to be getting back to where they need to be. That's awesome. Some are back on their deadlifts. Some are back into their walking lunges. So, again, unweighted, you should be able to come down and go back up. A little bit more weight, maybe finish halfway through in that 14-minute time cap. But again, wherever you're at, meet your body where it is and push just a little bit more, as long as we're keeping that movement pattern nice and crisp. Great work, especially on the deadlifts where we know the low back tends to want to take over, and the renegade row, which is more of a core workout. So slow the movement down at those 2 points and really listen to where your body is at that point, so we don't injure it and we mitigate any aches and pains later on. Nice walking lunges there, Pamela, looking good. Great work, Deb. You got it. Great work, team. Awesome, everybody's looking great. Nice, breathing right through. Awesome. Good, we have 1 minute to go. Let's finish up where you're at. Listening to the body where you go. Don't forget your deadlifts and then your walking lunges. Yeah, good, nice and tall. Keep that posture up. Okay, we don't want to be collapsing at the shoulder. Keep it nice and tall. And then pushing the floor away. Everything is dictated by the hips. Okay, so I'm gonna come down. I only want to come down as far as I can keep my posture nice and tall. So I don't want to be coming down if I'm starting to round off or I'm here, because that's not a deadlift, it's more of a squat, okay? Good, 30 seconds. You got this. Breathing right through it, guys. Wherever you're at, I'm gonna show you the deadlift one more time, because those are the more slowing it down if we need to. Breathing in, big breath out. So I wanna keep my chin top. I don't ever wanna bring my head up. Okay, you have 13 seconds to go. And same thing when we're on our renegade row. Tall plank. See how my weights are a little bit closer to each other? It gives me that nice tripod position. I don't want to be dropping my hip and turning like this. Okay, so I want a nice stable hip, hips facing the floor, shoulder facing the floor until I go into my row. All right, and in 3, 2, 1, And we're done. Great work today, team. Finishing up a 14-minute chipper. Everybody's sweating after a 14-minute cardio conditioning. Great work. All right, clear your mats. Let's get some stretching done and get you sent off to enjoy the gorgeous weekend we're gonna have. It might not be as warm, but it's still gonna be pretty nice. And some people might like it that it's nice and cooled off a little bit, right? All right, grab some water if you need it. We're gonna get into some stretching right after, some flow stretching. And as always, we'll start with our up, down dog, child's pose. Upward facing dog to our downward facing dog. And if we wanna, walk our heels out, by all means, come back in the middle, drop to the knee, and let that low back release. Breathing right through that. We'll take a couple more breaths here. Make sure you're breathing through the belly. Nothing on the chest, nothing on the neck. You want the neck to stay nice and relaxed. We're gonna thread the needle on the right hand. We're gonna take it underneath the left arms, palms facing up. And we're gonna sink into the shoulder and bring that shoulder, the right shoulder towards the right wall without pulling that arm out. So we get a nice little rotation, get a nice little stretch on the scapula, the rhomboids, the supporting musculature around it. Okay? Good, and then we're gonna come back into our child's pose. And then we're gonna do the exact same thing on the left hand. We're gonna thread that needle through, palms facing up. And I'm gonna bring my shoulder blade towards you without letting my hand come up. So I get a nice little stretch on my mid back. Still breathing through my low back, through my belly, and through the back. And then we're gonna do one more up, down, dog, child's pose. And then we're gonna go into our pigeon. So back here, into our child's pose, into our upward facing dog, downward facing dog. And we're gonna do right side pigeon. So right knee, right elbow, right ankle, left wrist. And we're gonna drop that back knee and see if you can move it down. So you get a nice little bit of a stretch more. Make sure the gut is not spilling on the floor. We're still keeping that a little bit of activation on the core, a little bit of gut check. And then we're gonna go swing that hip side to side. Breathing right through that. Perfect. And then once we're done, we're gonna go and switch it out. Left knee, left elbow, left ankle to the right wrist. And then same thing, I'm gonna drop that back knee and I slowly move it down towards the back wall. And then I just give myself a couple of breaths here. And then when I'm ready, I'm gonna go in to my side to side, driving my left hip towards the left wall, easing off, driving it again. Try and stay nice and tall, shoulders away from ears. So we're breathing right through it. Okay. Perfect. And then we're gonna come back up into our tall plank. And we're gonna come in to our 90-90 shin box position. From there, we're gonna extend that right foot out again. I wanna stretch the left quad, so I'm gonna come down to my right elbow, sorry. And I'm gonna stretch out this whole side. You gotta switch your leg out for me, Deb. So you start in this position, right? Into your 90-90. You extend the front leg. Yeah, now extend the front leg. Left leg out for you. Yeah, there you go. Good stuff. Good. So if we can, we're gonna open up the chest to the ceiling without letting this knee come up. Only if the body will let you. Okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, you want about a 6 or a 7 for feedback. So it will feel tight, you'll feel a stretch, but I don't want it to feel like it's gonna pop out of its socket, okay? We don't want that. We don't want pain. Back in, we want a little bit of discomfort. And then we're gonna switch up, and then left leg out onto your left elbow so we can stretch the right quad. Breathing right through that. Nice, great work, guys. Breathing right through it. Don't let that left knee come off the floor, okay? Keep that left knee down. Awesome. Breathing right through it. If you can open the chest up to the ceiling. Again, feedback of about a 6, 7. We don't want pain at 9 or 10, okay? And then once that's done, we are good to go. Happy Friday, team. Great work.